Hey everybody, welcome to this week's layout update. Now, a few weeks ago I was talking about this locomotive and how the sound just, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Well, I turned the layout on today and it's just sitting there idling away. But as soon as I move it, the sound will stop. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. Just leave it right there. And I don't know, I don't think it'll ever fix itself. But I don't know. Let's see if the whistle will work here. Huh. That thing is having trouble holding the programming, but the sound has not worked in I don't know how long. But let's see what happens here. We'll move it. And there it goes. So doesn't take much. But every now and then it'll just start up and idle. Okay, so I got a pretty good update for you today, so we'll just leave that one right there. We'll come through here and we'll talk about this locomotive here real quick. If I get the camera down there low enough. Okay, so 129 there. I talked about this last week that had a bad decoder, and I was going to send it back. And I tested everything out on this before I put the sound decoder in. And everything was working just fine. Put the sound decoder in and the speaker started acting funny. I think the motor control chip was bad. Took the decoder out, put a non-sound decoder back in it, and it was running crappy too. So I'm gonna double check the motherboard just to make sure that there's no like solder, like touching anywhere it's not supposed to be, causing problems. And I'm going to I don't even know if this is a thing, but maybe the brushes on the electric motor are bad. So I got a spare motor. I know this one runs good because I took it out of one that had an accident. So I'm gonna replace the motor and see if that will, fix everything. I talked to, I can't think of his name. Well, I want to say Brian at Model Railroad Supply. He told me I could send it back and they'd refund my money and then I'll just buy another one. But also, they subscribe to my channel because what I've been doing is anytime I leave a comment, a review or something like that after a purchase, I always put my YouTube channel information down there, hoping that somebody might read that and then want to come check out, the product that I bought and the work I've done to it. So kudos to Model Railroad Supply, and I appreciate you guys. I'll let you know if I need to send that back here because I have a number of decoders to buy. 411 is going to get one here before too long as well. All right, let's go in here and see what we got going on. So I went to Mike's Trains the other day and I picked up, no, I didn't go to Mike's Trains. I did go to Mike's Trains, I bought some stuff, but I went to the Emporium in beautiful Thomasville, North Carolina, and there's a little, like a model train closet. This guy named Adam Broyles runs it. It's called Round the Bend. I think he's closing down his little closet and moving to a store. He does a lot of train shows and stuff. He had a 50% off sale, so I bought some cars that I really did not need. But I bought the CNEI box car because when I was a kid, I grew up on the CNEI. I got this silver Great Northern car. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't have a silver one. I got another Pennsy box car and a Northern Pacific box car just because I don't think I have one of those on my layout. I celebrated my 54th birthday on the 21st, which should be yesterday if you're watching on Sunday. And one of my clients and one of my new friends, Chris, went to Mike's Trains and bought me a couple of rail cars. He told me he had no idea what he was buying. He just walked in. He thought it was HO scale. He called it hoe scale. That made me laugh. But I said, that's accurate. I call it that too. But he got me a couple of exact rail cars, and I'm really appreciative of that. That's pretty cool. Tabor grain. We had a Tabor grain in my hometown in Illinois where I grew up. I can use that for some modern day photographs, and a Southern, I think there's a waffle side 60-foot box car. Pretty cool. I'm always appreciative when someone gives me something that they did not have to give me. Out of all my friends, he's the only one who bought me something besides showing up at my party. I had like a little get together at Goose and a Monkey, which is my favorite little place in Lexington. It's right by the railroad, and I get to see a couple of trains, have a beer, eat some okay food, and have a good time. At about I think 8 or 9 people showed up, so it was great. And I didn't even invite but 2, so I mean, that must say I'm a decent guy. So, oh, I forgot to show you some stuff over here. Let me go back in here again. I collected up all my loose trees. Those are ones that have not been planted, that I had just sitting around doing nothing. And I started planting some trees. So these are some woodland scenic trees. I think they're like some form of a deciduous. The 3 green ones here in the middle of the screens, I planted those. I got a couple apple trees here that I'm gonna put by these houses. I have a mailbox that was 3D printed by Whistle Stop Models. And I think I'm gonna paint it and put it in front of one, and then I'm gonna order some more of them, probably a bunch, because I got about 4 or 5 houses that need them. A couple other detail parts, a fire hydrant, and a couple other things gonna get painted and put over here in Cartridge. Cartridge is a small town named after the ammunition plant there in the back. You can see it's still not finished, like most of my layout. I got a lot of work to do, but I think it's gonna be pretty cool when it's done. Little ghost update on these trees right here. They still have not fallen over, and I've done my absolute best to recreate every scenario possible that me and the dog could have done, or the open window and the fan could have done to blow them over, and it didn't. Oh, I put these trees in as well. I forgot about these. Pretty cool, I like them. My little park over here is going to get a few more of those nicer trees, and some of these more generic trees will be taken out and put over on the mountainside, where they can just blend in and be generic with the rest of the generic stuff. Hey, when you get one of these gimbals and you start walking around, it's actually kind of making my arm a little tired. I feel weak. Okay, so I went through all my collection of telephone poles, and they could be called utility poles or power poles or whatever, line poles or whatever. So I found some that only have 2 of these little armatures or whatever they're called up at the top, and I'll be putting them some places on the branch line over here on the Hudson branch. I had some of these nicer ones that have the 3 armatures on the top, and it's a little too mainline looking for that branch. So these 2 armature will go up. I got a bunch of these too, and I'll paint them like a darker brown, and I'll go and I'll hit some of the insulators on the top, a green or a white or something, and work on that. Let's go over here. Not a whole lot of work done to this side of the layout. Got a couple of trains lined up for you guys to watch roll by. Haven't done anything over here to the gate. Being that it's really hot out right now, I'm leaving the gate shut, and it's better for the rails. They don't hit, and when they do expand, they just expand to the next rail and they touch. So it's no big deal. Everything lines up still really nice. Haven't done anything here, but I'm working on it. What I have been working on is this monstrosity of a mountain that's going to go behind Hudson 2. This will probably get some plaster cloth on there this week. I just got a few more pieces of lattice to put in, and then a whole bunch of plaster cloth going on there. I'll paint it all and start buying all the large clump foam to put on there to resemble trees, or to give you that illusion. I got a tunnel portal to make. I'm going to use a little scrap Luan like this. I'll draw it out, I'll cut it out, and then I'll glue it all together and paint it, and I'll show you where that's going to go. I have been out here working, not like normal, but I have been out here working. I've done a few things, planted some more trees, I cut a bunch of foam last night. I was going to tell you something else over there, but I'll go back and do it. Been working on this area. So you see I got some green foam cut here. That's going to be the cuts coming around. I'm going to double up the green foam so it's 4 inches tall on this side right in the front, and then this will give I think a pretty cool view looking around the tracks coming through. What I have done is this area right here. Whoa, take it easy there, gimbal. What I have done is this area here. I built this whole little piece right here. I installed that signal. all these trees in behind the depot and up to that shed up there. The green foam behind it, I'm planning on, that's where the new tunnel entrance is going to be. So it'll be right there where that black line and the brown come together. And then the portion of the track in the middle that's going around the turn to the right, that will be like a removable section because I need to get in there in case of a derailment. And where that green foam is and the new tunnel entrance, that will be glued in, that'll be permanent. So I'm gonna try to keep that as short as possible, probably like maybe 10, 12 inches at the most. That way there I got a good secure base for that tunnel entrance, that portal, and a nice little mountain scene up on top of that. And then I will come through here, transition as well over to this area, be another 2-inch piece of foam, and then I can go with the smaller 2 and 3-inch trees, which will be just a little higher than this section here. I think that's going to look pretty good. These smaller trees, I can get them about like 10 of them for $10, and I can plant them all over the place and basically do the same thing on this side all around the edges of this little hill. I think this looks really good. I'm really happy with this. I put down some more gravel for this road, and I like this view of the back side of the station, and I'm really excited about getting this signal hooked up. I have a few more signals coming in that will control the junction of the Hudson branch over by the gate, and then I will have these two signals linked together, so they will work as an intermediate signal and a home signal. So I'm excited about that. It's the first signals I've tried to install on the layout, and I think it's going to look pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. So let me see if I got a train lined up, and we'll pull a train through here and you get a little view. I think it's quite a ways over there. So let me get on the other side and I'll show you what this view looks like from over there. All right, so this is the other side of the layout. I was right on the other side of that green foam. This is the front of the Hudson Depot, and I really like the way this part of the layout looks. If you get a little lower, oops, hit the wrong button. Oh no. If you get down low, I like this look here. So you can't really see the track behind it except for the green foam on the right. But when it's finished, I think it's gonna look real good. And I'm excited, This whole section where it's open will be a big mountain scene divider, so you won't be able to see the yard back there or the rest of the layout. I think it's going to look really good when it gets done. Just one of those things I got to keep working on. And I must have hit some dirty tracks, so let me go check this out. All right, so I planted some more trees over here, and I think I'm gonna have to take these out. So I don't know where my pointer's at, of course, but these trees here I added the other day, and I'm not liking that look. I think it's just a little too much in there. I want to be able to see that fill and that tree tunnel, but I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. So I think we got something coming over here. Let's go ahead and pan to the right a little bit. We'll see what we got. I had a comment the other day, more trains in your videos. So let's see what we can do here. We got looks like a merchandise freight with a couple of Alcos, like 3 Alcos on the head end. And only the first one has sound. Sounds like it's pulling pretty hard. You see a lot of detail that I've been putting in here between the cross bucks. There's a whistle post down there. And let me make sure this is focused. There we go. I like how it just disappears in the tree tunnel. This whole thing looks out of focus to me, but I ain't got my glasses on, I can't see. Every now and then this stupid phone has focusing issues. and it's aggravating as hell. Duck hunter, go show you some more. Ugh. So the dark green background hill there, I worked on that this week as well. I did some scenery. Down here to the left of the maintenance buildings, I put in some dirt, some rock road, a little bit more grass. I worked on this tower a little bit. I put a bunch of grass and dirt on the base of the plastic water tank there and blended it into the scenery around it. I really like the way that looks. I'm really enjoying this scene. I'll start working this way here soon. This train's climbing a 1% grade, and not the whole train's not on the grade yet, but it'll stall out here in a minute. But the track only goes to over here on this grade. Comes right here to this gap. But I like running some things up this every now and then to basically so I can run back through the scene that I just built. I think it looks pretty good. You can probably see the headlight on there for. Well, the whole thing's on the grade and it's still pulling, so about 45 cars maybe. But we don't want no accidents, so we go ahead and ease it on down. So I have been fairly busy out here. What I'm planning on doing this week is working on this green foam, getting it cut and sculpted the way I want. I'll work from this opening around. I ordered some ballast, so I got some more ballast coming in. And once I get that ballast, I'll ballast the Pensy main line, and then I'll get to work on everything else again. So I think that's about it over here. Sometimes progress is slow, but as long as I'm moving forward, that's all that matters. I will show you something that I experimented with this week and actually turned out quite well. So here in North Carolina, our dirt is like clay dirt. It's like red dirt, right? Oh, hit the wrong button. Oh, there we go. And you see up here, I got some darker dirt. So what this is coffee grounds from my Keurig mixed in with this red dirt, and it darkens up quite a bit when you mix it. So I literally have parts of my layout that smell like coffee because I'm mixing it in with coffee, and it's working really well. So if you are in an area that you have all this red dirt, put some coffee grounds in there, mix it up, let it all dry, and it's going to turn out to be a lot darker. You can use it in a lot more areas. So I guess that's all I got. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so, and come back next week and see what I talk about next. I appreciate you watching.